Wow. Am I supposed to preach after those three? I mean, parang sapat na yan, di ba? Uwi na tayo. What a blessing. The singing family. Barcia? Asan po ba kayo? Barcia? Asan po ba kayo? God bless you. You guys are amazing. Just the testimony and everything that God's done with your life. I think all of us in our own different ways have experienced some type of trauma, right? We've all experienced some type of pain, and we've definitely needed direction in our lives. And it's such a blessing to know that my grandparents, sina Lolo at Lola, they were willing to come in and help comfort you and your whole family during that hard time. So I'm grateful for them. Even though si Lola nasa langit na, we can celebrate with that. My grandfather is getting a little bit older. Parang tumatanda na konti. He's 85 million years old? 83, mag-83 pa lang. He's still young. And tama yung sinabi kanina. Si LJ, ano sabi niya? He's old in body, young in heart. Which is totoo. I spoke to my grandfather, si Lolo, last week pa lang. Nag-usap po kami. And he was telling me how he loves the Philippines, how he loves the people here, and how he loves Baptist Bible Church. But some of the people inside ayaw niya na. Hindi, biro lang. He's so very in love with this. And now it's a privilege to be part of a family that loves the Philippines. So tonight I want to share with you just some simple insights. Okay lang po ba? Kung napansin nyo, medyo simplistic ang technique ko. Alam mo kung bakit? Kasi yung utak ko minsan simple lang. Simple-minded minsan. But that does not change the fact that God uses the simple. That God uses the simple things in our life to make the biggest changes. Tama po ba? He has used that inside of my life. Everything from realizing that life is short, from the passing not only of my Lola, who was in her 80s, to my son, who was in his hours. He's used the simple things of beauty of the sky, all the way down to the difficulties of death. And he's used all of that. Why? Because I think God uses that to teach us and train us and grow us. And so I want to share with you some things that we've came across, and they're very simple, but I think it applies to us because in our lives sometimes we need direction. Sometimes we need to know which way to go, lalo after tragedy. Especially during the times of where we're at now, graduation time, next steps, what are we going to do with the rest of our days, what's the next plan that we have. And so today let's talk about that. Let's talk about the direction that God would take us in. Do I still have a mic? Do I have that mic up here? I can use this one. Yes, sir. All right, can you ayan, can you hear me? All right. A question. Sino po ba dito naalala nyo po ba ng elementary? I know it's centuries ago for some of you. No, you. Okay. Do you remember going in elementary and having a game? Hindi ko alam yung tawag sa laro nito, but you would be blindfolded and then people would tell you which way to go. Do you remember that? Obviously, some of you do not. So that means I need a volunteer. Can I ask for a volunteer? Siguro ang hinahanap ko isang napakagwapong lalaki na necktie na itim, seated in the 4th row, to come here to the front. All right. Can I ask your name? I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Marlon.
Marlon, is this your first time
First time mo.
to be here?
No.
So, ibig sabihin regular po kayo dito, Marlon?
Yes po.
Okay, ilan taon ka na?
26 years.
May misis ka na ba?
Wala.
Wala pa. Naghahanap ka pa?
Nagpipray po.
Nagpa-pray. Alam niya ba?
Yes po.
Alam niya. Sino? Si God o yung babae? Parehas.
Yes.
Okay, all right, good. Kasi kung single ka pa, pwede natin ibenta yung yung looks mo sa grupo na ito, baka may single pa dito. Okay. Let's do a activity, okay? Okay. Can I trust you, Marlon?
Yes.
Yes. Are you sure? Like solidly, just Can you follow instructions? Yes, okay, good. Do you guys believe Marlon can follow instructions? Yes, all right. Do you have a crush in here? Nandito ba yung crush mo? Never mind, never mind. Okay, we'll use somebody trustworthy, okay? Can I ask, sino ba kaya? Oh, sige na nga. Yung isang barkada ko, si Keith. Keith, halika dito, Pastor Keith. Ang layo ang tingin ko, dito pala siya. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to, Marlon, can you close your eyes? Just keep them closed, don't open them. Now what Keith is going to do is he's going to try to give you instructions to go, wait, open your eyes again. He's trying to get you to try to go all the way down, around, and come back here without running into anything. Okay, but you have to follow his instruction. Okay? Now everybody else in this entire room is going to also give you instructions. They're all going to shout the wrong directions. So the trick will be to follow the right instructions. Ang problema lang, si Keith, wala po siyang microphone. Do you think that you could manage listening to the right voice and following the right directions? Kaya mo ba?
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Yeah, you think you can?
If he'll go with me.
I think...
As long as I can hear him.
So do you think I can leave him here while everybody's shouting and giving you wrong directions? Keith is going to be shouting from right here, the right directions. Can you follow it?
I don't think I can follow it. I can hear Keith.
Well, can we give it a try? Are you willing? All right, so you're gonna have to close your eyes. But, syempre, parang straight line po ito. So, kailangan, mag-ikot ka 3 beses. Pabilisan. Dali, bilis, ikot ka. Yan. Sige pa. Sige, tuloy pa. Sige pa. Sige pa. Para mahilo ka talaga. Come on. All right, good, great. Don't open your eyes, don't go anywhere. You're in the right spot. Now, Keith is going to give you directions and everybody else is going to give you wrong directions. Ready? Keith, set, go. Kaliwa! Kanan! Takbo! Sige, kaliwa! Diretso! Sige, tuloy! Teka lang! Teka! Ayun! Teka lang! Out! Cancelled! Sorry, disqualified! Pambira! Ay, nako. You can't hear him. So the problem was you can't hear him, right?
Yeah.
What else was the problem?
Because of the 3 rounds before walking.
The 3 rounds before walking, that made you, dizzy?
Yeah.
It made you sleepy?
No.
Okay. What else? Did you have any trouble with the other voices?
Of course, the distraction.
Was everybody giving you good advice?
I can't trust them. I cannot trust them because you instructed them.
So are you telling me I should not trust them also?
Because they're giving the wrong direction, and I was trying to hear the voice of Sir Keith, but I can't hear him.
All right, thank you very much. Palapakan natin sila. Therein lies our problem with this world. See, we have so many different voices and opinions inside of our life. We have so many people shouting at us which direction we should go. The problem is when we hear all of these different voices and we have all of these things shouting one direction or another, minsan, tama ang sinasabi nila. Minsan, they are saying the same thing. Narinig ko kanina, may isang tropa dito, parang dito banda. Kanan! Pero nandito pa rin siya sa gitna. Oo, delikado. It became troublesome. Have you ever been in a place that you were going to a new location? Baka bahay ng kaibigan mo, maybe it was a meeting or a venue, and naligaw po kayo. Na-experience mo po ba yan? Yeah? Yeah, ako palagi. Sabi ng misis ko, I am directionally challenged. I can't find my way. Kaya ang lupit talaga si Waze. I like Waze. I can find my ways. But part of the issue when we get lost, we have to go through a process. If we know the way, we have confidence, tama? If we know the way, we have confidence because we can say, yes, I know the way. Sige, kanan ako dito, kaliwa. I can do it even blindfolded. Alam ko na yan. Even if I don't have anybody else with me, even if I'm going in the dark, in the daylight, it doesn't make a difference because I know the way. We have confidence, right? But when we're lost, we have several options. We can either deny the fact that we're lost. Sino po ba dito that you do not like to admit na naligaw po kayo? Ma-pride kayo, ha? Yeah, I think nobody likes to admit that they are lost. But the moment when we realize that we are lost, we have to break down at some point. And we have to admit, we have to first admit to myself that I don't know where I'm going. We have to admit to myself that I am actually lost. And if I continue to deny that fact, I will just continue to be lost. And if I continue going on the path that I think, it will still be lost. But as soon as we get over that and admit na, oh, tama, naligaw po ako, I am lost, then we can go to someone for help. And then we can go to the people maybe standing there on the side of the road, maybe yung mga jeepney drivers, and decide or assume that these people know what it is or where I am trying to go. And then I can ask for help, and I recognize already that I don't know the way. I ask them for the right directions. And then we can believe the guidance that people give us. Pero ang problema, katulad ng buhay, katulad kanina, there is so many voices shouting at us the directions you could go. Don't believe me? Open Facebook. People will tell you all sorts of different advices. Kapag nag-away kayo ni Mister, the advices in Facebook will range anywhere from love your husband even though mali siya. By and by, magbabago yan. All the way to the other side, maghiwalay na kayo. Alam mo kung bakit? Matigas ang ulo niya, pasaway talaga yung mister mo, maghiwalay na lang kayo. Tama? Some of you are like, I don't know if that's true. Wala ako sa FB. Oo, ganun talaga. The voices in our world shout at us and give us advice. Our co-workers, our classmates, they all advise us one way or another. Our family members, even our kapitbahay, they all have their own opinion. The question is, who do we listen to? That's the question. Who do we listen to? Sometimes, na-experience ko po, naligaw po ako. Actually, dito banda sa Manila, hinahanap ko yung simbahan ng kaibigan ko. I went looking for it. I was driving in my own car. I did not know the way. Inamin ko na yan. Binuksan ko yung bintana ko, kinusap ko yung isang lalaki. Naka-motor siya. Sabi ko, kuya, pwede magtanong. Naligaw po ako, asan po ba itong street, itong daan, itong landmarker? Sabi niya, ay, madali lang yan. Sundan mo lang yung mga jeepney. Nasa crossing po tayo. Ang daming jeepney po dito. He didn't tell me which jeepney, but he said, just follow the jeep. And you know what? If you follow the jeep, eventually you can find a place. A place, but not necessarily the right place. And also, if you follow the jeepney, baka hindi nyo pa napansin dito sa Pilipinas, yung jeepney ay humihinto every 3 feet. So if you're planning to follow the jeeps, it will take you a long time to get wherever you're going. Lalo kapag meron kang personal na service. Sometimes we just don't know where to go. And even if I chose to follow that guy's advice, it would have taken me a long time. Whereas if I had asked the right person, yung kaibigan ko na pastor, kaya niya ipaliwanag sa akin kung ano ba ang tamang daan, I would get there really quickly. And yun ang ginawa ko. Ang problema ko lang, wala akong load. Buti na lang, may loadan dyan. Kinuusap ko na siya. I made it there safely. It boils down to this. Many times in our lives, we run into similar problems with others. Okay, show of hands, all right? Active po ako sa pagsalita ko. I like interaction. So, sino po ba dito? Minsan may problema sa love life. Taas ang kamay. Sila lang meron. Ay, walang love life. Yun ang problema. Aminin natin, sino minsan may questions? Sabihin natin questions, baka hindi problema. Questions sa love life. Pambihira, ang banal talaga kayo. How many of us have sometimes had troubles and we needed advice in our marriage? Taas ang kamay. I'm raising my hand because I need help. Ay, nako. We're going to be like this. That's okay. I think all of us have needed help with our kids. Yes? Yes, some of you are nodding your heads. You don't want to raise your hand, but you're agreeing. All of us have needed help in our finances. Yes? All of us have needed help with health, fitness, kasi naging uso yan ngayon. Yung isang kakilala ko dito, he's bodybuilder, di ba? Before he was here. Naghingi ako ng tips. Sabi niya, ilang beses ka nag-gym sa isang linggo? Sabi ko, wala pa isa. Ayun pala ang problema mo. You have to go to the gym to get bigger. We need directions for our work opportunities. We need directions for just about everything. And one of the most important areas in our life is our final destination. Kung saan po tayo pupunta. Now, I realize that almost all of us in here are regular. Tama? Most of all of us here are members here at this church. There are some na medyo bago pa. But the thing is, we need to be solid inside of our final destination. Of what happens when our time is done here. Because the Bible describes life as short as a vapor. It's here one moment and then gone the next. And we don't know the time or the day when we will go, but it will happen. I was talking to the doctor of my wife, and he told me, he says, alam mo, handa na ako. Sabi ko, handa ka na? Magano? Sabi niya, I'm ready to die. Oh, really? You know where you're going to go kapag namatay ka? Sabi niya, no. I'm ready kasi nakamili na po na yung urn kung saan ilalagay yung katawan ko. Ashes. Handa na siya. Tinanong ko siya, yung eternity mo, alam mo na ba? Sabi niya, no one can know for sure. Nakalungkot, no? Even though the Bible's clear about where everyone will end up one day. Here's a few steps that we came up with, that we see inside of the Bible, that help us determine who to listen to and what you should be listening to. This is the way that we can find the right directions and reach your destination. Unang-una, we should listen to God. Simple, basic, straightforward, we should listen to God. That seems like common sense, but so often we don't hear it enough. We should listen to God. Isaiah chapter 44, verse 6 says, Thus saith the Lord, the King of Israel, and his Redeemer, the Lord of hosts, I am the first and the last. Besides me, there is no other God. I am the first and the last. So if we come to God, God already knows what's happened. God already knows what is going to happen. God is eternal. I don't think time plays the same role as it does with us. Kasi sa mata ng Diyos, 1,000 years is just like a day. For us, it's forever. God is the first and He is the last. He is eternal. He knows our past. He knows our current habits, our current struggles, our current predicaments in our life. And the interesting is, God also knows our future. Would you believe that? I don't know. If our God is able to raise Himself from the dead, if our God is able to create the whole universe, don't you think that God also knows our future? Don't you think that God can use those struggles, as the song was saying earlier, to grow us into the man or the woman that He wants us to be? He is, and He should always be, our source for direction in our life. The simple thing to do when you want to ask God is to open this book. Some of you might respond, yeah, read your Bible, pray every day. I know. Pero sa totoo, if you decide to do that, our lives will be radically revolutionized by simply reading the Bible. You know what I do? Kasi minsan tamad ako magbasa. Sino dito? Tama, wala magtataas ng kamay kanina. Tama, so wala. I won't ask you to raise your hands. But some of us here, sometimes we have a hard time getting up to read our Bible. Yeah? So do you know what I did to overcome that? I downloaded a free audio Bible sa aking cellphone. So habang nagliligo ako, nagba-Bible reading din ako. Ayan, nag-iisip siya, sabi niya, oh, that's a good idea. Habang nagsasakay ako when I'm in my commute from the house to the office, I can hear the Bible playing on the stereo. Why? Because I want to know the direction that God has for my life. But we have to listen to God. This is God's holy word written for you and for me. We just have to read it. And then, when we listen to God sometimes, well, maybe not after we listen to God, but as we're going through life, we feel depleted, drained, exhausted, ubos na ubos. Na-experience mo po ba yan? That you are going through life and then parang nagbigay mo na lahat and then pagod ka na? Ang pakiramdam natin is parang low bat. Na-experience mo ba yan? Ako lang. Ang bihira ako lang talaga. Itong message ay para sa akin. Yeah. Sometimes we feel exhausted, we feel spent, we feel like we've used up all that we already have. And when we get to that point, we need to somehow power back up to get more gas inside of the fuel tank. Sometimes we just need to recharge. And the best way to do that is we need to realize where we get our source of energy. So where do we get our source of energy? Coffee, tama. Milo. Enervon every day. Yes, those might help with some of the physical stuff, but when it comes to the spiritual stuff, the internal workings of us, where do we get our energy? I am a very social, extroverted type of personality. I need interactions with other human beings. Si Mrs. kapag napansin niya ako na medyo parang naglolobat na ako, alam mo kung ano ginagawa niya? She says, please leave the house, go into the mall, tambay ka na lang dyan, kalating oras pabalik ka dito. Bakit? It will change your attitude. I get energized with people. My brother-in-law, Pastor Mark Buxton, who's pastoring a church in Marikina, he gets recharged kapag tahimik. He's introverted. He needs that quiet, calm, peace, serenity. It is beneficial to him. Kaya kapag if he is inside of a family reunion, ang ingay namin, kawawa siya. He has to take a time out at aalis siya for kalating oras tapos maya-maya babalik yan para ma-recharge siya. But when it comes to spiritual energy, where do we get our energy? Jesus is our source of energy. I like this verse that says that man shall not live by bread alone. I like that because I don't just like to eat bread. I like to eat cheese and meat and palaman. I like all of that. But man shouldn't live by bread alone. But in the Bible, when it talks about bread, it talks about something that's life-giving. And Jesus is the bread of life. And we need to look to him for not only direction, but we also need to look for him for sustenance, for our energy, to get us recharged. John chapter 6, verse 32 to 35 says, Jesus said unto them, most assuredly I say unto you, Moses did not give you the bread from heaven, but my Father gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he who comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. And they said unto him, Lord, give us this bread always. And Jesus said unto them in verse 35, I'm the bread of life. He who comes to me shall never hunger, and he who believes in me shall never thirst. My friends, if we truly want to be energized, if we truly want to have the sustaining energy, the sustaining power in our lives, you know what we need? We need the power of Jesus Christ in our lives. So when we're going through life, we need to talk to God, ask God for directions. And then secondly, we need to go to Jesus to re-energize. I like this verse in Psalms 119, verses 14 hanggang 16. It says, I have rejoiced in the way of your testimonies, in much as in all riches. I will meditate in your precepts and contemplate your ways. I will delight myself in your statutes. I will not forget your word. It comes back again to this, the Bible. You want to hear God? Read this. If you want to get re-energized, if you want to eat this. Don't actually eat this. It will hurt your stomach. But if you eat this, it will fill up your spirit and revitalize you. Have you ever experienced waking up in the middle of the night and madilim na madilim at napansin mo parang uminit yung bahay ninyo? Then it all of a sudden becomes a realization, ay, may brownout pala dito. Na-experience mo pa ba yan? Yeah, and then when you wake up and you have to get out of bed to try to find a flashlight or some type of candle para so that we can light up the house, it's kind of difficult to do kapag wala tayong konting paraan para maliwanag yung daan natin. It's difficult to do. When the road or street has no street light and there's a brownout and everything goes dark, and when you wake up in the middle of the night, it's hard to find your things that you need. I hate waking up at 2 a.m. Alam mo kung bakit? Ang dilim. Ang dilim. I can't even find my glasses. Minsan, I can't even find my way to the CR. But the interesting thing about God, the Bible describes Jesus as the light. In our lives, sometimes we get to places that is dark. I'm not just talking about physically, I'm talking about emotionally and psychologically and spiritually. Have you been there with me? Have you been in a place that's dark? Maybe with a death. Maybe with some heartache. Maybe with some disappointment that you thought you were going to get that job and sinabi ng manager ninyo, yes, don't worry. Just believe me, you will get it. And then pagdating ng araw, wala pala. Ayun pala, not just you didn't get it, pero tanggal ka. Yeah? You've been there with me? You've been the times that you were confused about the direction of your life? Or maybe you're like my friend who was working in the police for years. He already had seniority. He was waiting to get his retirement. Pag nag-retire siya, alam ko ano nangyari? Wala siyang tinanggap na kahit piso. Bakit? Sorry sir, your documents are not in order. So hinasikaso niya. 6 months, wala pa. 1 year, wala pa. Almost umabot ng 2 years bago siya nakita kahit piso. Hindi ko pinagsisi yung police, no. I'm just saying that sometimes we get to a place in our life that things get dark. And for him, it was financially. Mahirap kasi yung misis niya, housewife. Tapos siya, wala siyang income. Paano niya pakainin yung misis niya? How can he provide for his family? Mahirap. We need some light in our life. We need somebody to come in and shine a light into everything that's going on. I like this verse inside of John, chapter 8, verse 12. It says, then Jesus spoke to them again, saying, I am the light of the world. He who follows me shall not walk in darkness, but have the light of life. I need to know that I can always find clear, useful, direct directions on a daily basis. During crisis, when we feel most lost, sometimes we don't know what to do. Question, if our house caught on fire, what's the first thing you will get out? Would it be the wedding album? Would it be that secret stash of money that you've been saving for the last 6 months para makabakasyon yung pamilya mo? Will it be your cell phone? O yung bagong laptop? Would it be your child? If you could only get one thing, what would happen if you were in that fire and you had no plan of what to do in case of emergencies? Clarity comes when we have a clear view of what's important and what's not. And when we have the light in our lives, we can clearly see what's most important. It's God, and it's everything that He teaches us inside of this book. Alam ko, ito ang binabalikan ko palagi. But there's a reason for it. This church is built on the teachings of this book. Your pastor has been teaching for years, decades on this book. Your Sunday school teacher, lahat ng lessons nila ay galing dito. Sana. Tama? Every Bible study that you've ever gone through is exactly that, Bible study. We have entire colleges here, ABBC, Bible College. Why? Because we believe here at this church that this book holds the key not only to our life here, but to our life for eternity. Yes? That's why it's so important. That's why it's so important. My friends, I don't know when we will die. Wala po tayong timer sa katawan natin that would say, you have 15 days until expiration. Wala. Di ba? Walang ganyan, di ba? Sana meron, pero nakakatakot kung meron talaga. Ba? May nag-isip, somebody actually wrote a paper on it, and they said, if we actually knew the day of our death, how would that change society? And the realization, I believe, was this. People will become lackadaisical. They would choose to become careless with their lives because they will say, 6 months na lang. Sige, party-party muna. Meron akong 1 taon na lang. Sige, magbababae na lang ako. Sige. Oh, my timer says I have 5 more years. At least, I have 5 more years to have some more fun. So let's get crazy. Parang ang pangit, no? I think there's a benefit to us knowing not when we will go. Because that challenges us to do something today. My friends, how many days have we wasted and forgotten about because we did not follow the way? Jesus also continues and tells us in the book of John chapter 10 that He is the gate, the only way in. Now I know here in the Philippines there are many different groups, tama? They would believe that there is different ways to get to heaven. And may ibang grupo, at least sa US na napansin ko, somebody was saying that it doesn't matter what you believe, eventually everybody will get saved, but I don't believe that. According to the Bible, there is only one way to get to heaven. And do you know what that is? Jesus. John chapter 10, verses 9 and 10 says, I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will be saved, and will go in and out and find pasture. And the thief does not come in except to steal and to destroy, steal and to kill and to destroy. But I have come that they may have life and they may have it more abundantly. Jesus spoke again in John 14 saying, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. I like that. Do you know why? Because there is only one right path. If there is any pastor that would ever dare come and stand here in this church and say there is any other way except Jesus, I pray that we would kick him out. Sana. Kasi ang tinuturo ng Biblia is that Jesus is the way. It's not a way, it's not one of the ways, it is the singular, isa lamang. There's only one way in, and that's through Jesus. My challenge is today for all of us is this. Una, kung kilala mo na si Jesucristo bilang sarili mong tagapagligtas, kung tiyak ka na kung saan ka pupunta, if you know that you already know the right way, Jesus, two things for you. One, are you sharing it to help other people see the light? If the answer is yes, fantastic. If the answer is no, it's time to become a light also. And if you also know where you're going, but you also have those dark times, those difficult times, those times where you don't know the next step or the next direction, it's time to intentionally start reading this. So the commitment for the believer tonight is this. One, to share your faith. And two, to read your Bible. Can we do that? And if you're here tonight and hindi mo pa kilala si Jesucristo, you don't have that relationship, you don't know for sure kung saan ka pupunta, maybe you've put your faith in something or someone else, it comes down to this. In regards to eternity, there's only one way to be sure of where you're going, and that is through Jesus Christ alone. If you don't know Jesus Christ tonight we would like to share with you on how to have that relationship and allow him to change your life forever. Would you stand with me as we close in a word of prayer? We'll play some music, we'll have an invitational song, and I would like to open up the altar if you would like to come and make a commitment to God. You don't have to be ashamed, you don't have to be worried. You can just come and make a decision. Make a commitment to God. A commitment to God to share. A commitment to God to listen to his word. Or maybe a commitment to know Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior. As the music plays, I'll give you a moment to reflect. And if you need to come here to the front, please come here to the front. Huwag ka mahiya. We would love to visit with you. If you need somebody to pray, we have men and women that are willing to pray with you. If you have a question, please feel free to come. We would like to answer it.